What's going on, my APA family? Appreciate you guys tapping in. As always, um, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you guys think that the story is worthy of your time, appreciate you taking time out of your day just to even just like entertain it. You already know I'm here for the youngsters, trying to spread some cautionary tales in the stories that I tell. No, not glorifying it, nothing like that. Even to try to remind some of the reoffenders, the dudes that have been in and out, to stay out, take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? Things like I've been doing, you know. And I'm gonna tell this short story. I've had a little issue with a couple of stories that I've just I recorded. Um, it's just like it kept glitching and everything like that. So I don't wanna keep dropping those type of stories. So I'm gonna drop a quick one just to give you guys another content, another video. Um, and it's gonna keep coming. One of them, two of them are really like what I consider bangers. There's times that I tell stories that people appreciate and everything, but to me, it's just my life, my experiences. But there's at least two coming that I feel like, damn, like it's crazy. And one of them has to do with one of the dudes that got killed in prison. But anywho, I digress. As you can tell by the good old caption, that uña, that thumbnail, Carnal removes someone with me in Mississippi along with my homeboy. So, for those of you that are not familiar with the with California convicts going out to the out of state to other prisons, California had the three-judge panel years ago, um, before the 2010, 10, 06, somewhere around there, and pretty much ordered California CDCR to alleviate the overcrowding in the California prison system. And what did California do? Instead of actually releasing non-violent offenders, they actually found a loophole and they started renting prisons out of state in Oklahoma, Arizona, Mississippi, so that they could send these convicts out there, and on the books in California, they could justify the fact. They could really come say, look at our books. We relieved and let a lot of released a lot of prisoners. They didn't say released, but they said we no longer have them on our roster. But instead of them being released, they were released into the custody of rented prisons out of state. Albeit they were still running CDCR program, Title 50 program policies, and everything like that. But that's how that came to be. And at first, they were just letting level threes and down, non-violent offenders, dudes that never been to the shoe, nothing like that. But with the overcrowding and with the three-judge panel after the fact, when all this happened, I could be wrong on the years, but that's why it happened. The three-judge panel said, hey, you got to release these cats or figure something out. And that's what they figured out. So I was a New Corkin for years, man. And when I dropped down to Pleasant Valley, got into a riot with the Bulldogs there, whatnot, boom, beat that 115 in the back because they set us up. It was 60-something dudes against 12 of us. You know what I'm saying? Did the little bullshit ass shoe and got out, beat the 115. And eventually I ended up being eligible. They needed a lot of heads. They were asking people on the yard to volunteer to go out of state. And although I did not volunteer, by the time they asked me, I was like, hell yeah. I remember thinking in level 4 at 180s and all that shit, and the shoe and all that. I remember thinking like, hell yeah. Like I want to go out of state. Let me go out there and play some PlayStation, get some pussy. So, excuse my language, but what I mean by that is there were COs out there, female COs, that were literally taking green dots to get busy, and as somebody's been locked up, it's got a decade and a half to do, or lifers. I mean, lifers weren't allowed to go out there, but I mean, anybody that has to stretch, or not even a stretch, you get stressed out because you don't have that physical aspect of a female. But so my point is, there were several incentives, reasons for us to want to go out there, cell phones, all kinds of stuff, right? So I eventually ended up going out to Arizona. They put me out to Arizona. Mike crying me for my case was out there in Mississippi. He had been out there for years already. And, me hearing all these stories of all this crazy shit that's going on that I want to be a part of, because I'm locked up. That's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to Mississippi. I heard that's the one that was cracking the most, And I ended up making it there. I went from Red Rock in Arizona, then to Florence Penitentiary, because they closed down Red Rock for California convicts. They opened up Florence for the California convicts at this time. Eventually, they ended up sending us on a plane to Mississippi. That was the first time I was ever on a plane, which is crazy, man. Imagine how sad that is. The first time I ever been on a plane was when I was fucking locked up. You know how much shit I experienced when I was locked up from the juvenile hall system all the way to the prison system? But anywho, I get to Mississippi, and I'm gonna just fast forward. I finally make it. I ended up going into the same block with my crimey. My brother ended up landing eventually. He was doing 10 years for some BS, which Prop 36, not the new Prop 36, but the one back then, ended up enabling him to get out. He went from doing 10 years, he did 3 years, and then overnight, boom, they cut Prop 36, ended those bullshit ass enhancements that they gave him 10 years for a little bit of fucking clavo in his record, which is fucking crazy to think, right? So, but before that, we were power struggling with the dudes over there. Mississippi was, when it came to the dudes that had the blocks and yard and things like that, most of them were watered down. They were watered down. They had never been to a real prison in California. They went to reception, and then that's when they needed a lot of people to go, a lot of bodies to go out to out of state. And a lot of these cats never actually made it to a real yard, and they got sent out from the county jail straight to Mississippi, Arizona, Oklahoma, and they were making up their own rules. It's almost like they were running that shit like the county jail and juvenile hall type shit. And that's where those of us that have been a New Corcoran, level 4s, a shoe and everything, we went out there and like they were set tripping on the homies, like they were tripping on them for nothing. They were trying to beat up homies for leaving a cup on the day room table. They were trying to beat up homies in the cup for a day room table. And for those of us that came over there, we were just like, man, we weren't tripping on that. So we started bumping heads and everything, and eventually they tried to remove one of our homeboys that was hitting. It was a whole mess. It's a whole mess why we started bumping heads with these cats. So eventually, man, all this, us bumping heads with them and things like that led to my brother when after he got there, and my brother was on me. He'd been to Pelican Bay and all that, he came back, he got locked up again on some bullshit. So I mean, of course, and I don't think he had a new number. I think, you know what? I don't remember if he discharged his number or whatnot. But anywho, that's what enabled him to go out to Mississippi, right? And so we get there, and the compromise, instead of them trying to move on us, because they knew they couldn't move on us. For those of you that are familiar with my Mississippi stories, we're always bumping heads with these cats, strapped up on the yard. Senores were involved. Stalemate. Then in this one, they wanted to move on my celly, on my homeboy monster, and we were not gonna let that happen. It was 5 of us from my neighborhood, from Logan, Santana, and a couple of other dudes, one from South Central, and another dude from East LA, and we were a whole crew. And so the compromise was, you know what? This is the sad part. They found some dude from LA, some resident dude, to sacrifice. Oh, you know what then? Cool. This dude just disrespected the bloquero. We need you guys to remove him. And their whole plan was, unfortunately, usually when you take off on somebody, you remove somebody, everybody ends up in different blocks. So that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to break us up. But unfortunately for them, they didn't know that at the time, they were bringing us back to the block. The hole was so full, a simple battery on an inmate. It was so full that they were bringing us back to the block after the fact, within a few days or the same day, and they were still stuck with the problem. And that's what ended up happening. But we go out there, poor guy, man. We get on him. Start smashing. And the cops over there in Mississippi are not gonna go into the pod. They're not gonna go into the pod. It's not like California where they have to. I mean, the one that was in there tried to spray us, but she ran out. She was gone. Close the door, boom. The rest of the COs are coming. They're not even COs. The staff came in, but they're looking through the window, looking at us beat the shit out this dude. and they're just waiting for us to get gassed out, tired, because they don't have live ammunition. They don't have the Mini 14. They don't have the batons. They don't have none of that. So eventually we get gassed out. We smash this dude. Boom, 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 boom. We prone out. I go to the other side, prone out. And that's when this dude recovers, because he had been balled up the whole time, covered himself. Recovers, starts crawling toward my brother, my Carnal, my blood brother. And right, he was going to try to get him. When I seen that, I flew like Superman, man. We were clowning in there when they showed us the video, because we requested the video for evidence and things like that, to try to 602 it and things like that. And they have to give you whatever evidentiary, anything that has to do with litigation, litigiousness, and things like that, for 602 purposes, appeals, and things like that. And all you could see in the video was me coming into the screen, because I was at a screen. But when this happened, I went, my hand right here, I flew in there and hit that dude. Boom, 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 boom. And I, keep in mind, I was tired already. But, you know, so whatever adrenaline I had left in me, you're not going to touch my brother. You're not going to touch my brother. And that's what happened, man. I got on him, boom, 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 boom. And then eventually when they seen us thrown down, they came in there, gassed us. Meaning this time they sprayed the shit out of us, all of them. And that was it. We went to the hole. You know, we seen the video after the fact on a 115 hearing and things like that. But I mean, this is just to come to show you that this dude got beat up just because the mesa, the meseros that were not experienced, that were fucking straight clowns. This is what they'll do to innocent people, a person, I mean. And this comes to show, youngsters, this is not the type of lifestyle you guys want to go into. Real offenders as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll be back with the next two. Appreciate you guys. You guys be good.